Alright guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly and we are live for the last preview of 2020. Finally, the last preview of 2020 because I can't wait to see the back of this year. But before we get into it, please do leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new around here. And also if you're watching as a video, hit me up in the comment section down below what your thoughts are going into this very important game, it turns out, especially result yesterday. So make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Your predictions, any sort of thoughts going into the game will be muchly appreciated, and I reply to all your comments, so please do get involved in the comment section down below. And if you're watching live as a stream, make sure as always to leave your thoughts in the live chat and get involved, have your say, and we'll read out your thoughts live on stream. We've got a few people joined already. Brother Gaming, thanks for joining, and Adam, cheers for joining guys, appreciate it. Of course, as Adam mentioned, I'm doing this stream a little bit earlier than usual because it's New Year's Eve, as you guys will fully well know, so I'm not going to be streaming near the 12 midnight on New Year's Eve. I just think that's completely wrong. I'm not going to do that, so I thought today I'm just going to do a quick stream middle of the day, and then we can just have the preview done and you guys can watch it as a video whenever you want to. You don't have to watch it tonight, obviously. I think you'll probably be a little bit more preoccupied than to watch my stream, but if you are watching it, then I really do appreciate it, of course. So yeah, let's just get straight into the preview. Not much more to say on the preamble. Let's get straight into talking about the game for both teams, really, especially when you look at where they're placed in the league. Probably a little bit more pressure on us considering where we find ourselves after 15 games, second in the Premier League, 3 points behind Liverpool now with a game in hand, and we do have that Liverpool game coming up on the 17th, so this game is so important in setting up the ramifications for that game at Anfield on the 17th. So a win in this one actually has layers of importance to it. So for me, this is a big game for United. For Aston Villa, they are so happy to be where they are right now. If they were to lose at Old Trafford, I don't think it'd be the end of the world for them. I really don't. Obviously, they'd rather get a point or win. That's just, that's pretty well my Michael Owen punditry right there. But ultimately, for them, being in 5th place is just dreamland for them. So if they were to lose the game, it wouldn't obviously matter as much to us if we lost the game, especially, at Old Trafford. We're expected to win at Old Trafford. But I tell you, Aston Villa are a very, very decent side. They're a very good side. There's a reason why they're 5th in the league this season. And they've had some, tough fixtures this season that they've absolutely breezed through. They beat Arsenal at the Emirates 3-0. They beat Liverpool 7-2. Last game, they drew 1-1 with Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. These guys are no farmers. These guys are no clowns. Mate, they turn up at the top 6 sides and get jobs done. And this is what I'm worried about. Their record against the top 6 has been absolutely fantastic. Almost faultless, really, this season. So that's one thing that they've got to their favour, which I am worried about. But our record as well is very, very good this season. And just in general, our away record was much better than our home record, and it still is. But our record is now kind of balancing up a little bit, so hopefully that continues. Raymond, thanks for joining as well. He says, let's keep the momentum going. I agree, Raymond, 100%, mate. We need to keep this momentum going, especially into the new year. As I said in the title, new year, same form. We need to keep this same form going, because if we drop off, we will drop off madly. Because if you look at the table, how close it is, I think between 10th and 5th, there's only 1 or 2 points in it. So really, the table is so tight this season that if you go on a losing streak of 2 or 3 games, you could find yourself right down there. I mean, look at Spurs and look at Chelsea. Both of those teams were in the top 4, firmly in the top 4, and then they kind of started dropping points, and now look where they are, outside of the top 4. So it could happen to us, and obviously we're talking about a title race right now, and it's really fun to be talking about it. I'm not saying don't talk about it, but I feel like some United fans are starting to get a little bit overconfident. But you know what? It's good to enjoy it while it lasts. It really is. Especially if you look at previous seasons. How many times can we say we've really been that close to the top of the table? Not many. Not many. So you've got to really enjoy it while it lasts, I guess. You can, get a little bit overconfident if you want, but realistically, we still know that Liverpool are the best side in the country, and you just have to be wary of that. Adam says, what do you think of United possibly signing Max Aarons? Well, I've heard the rumours. Of Max Aarons, and he did quite well for Norwich last season. He's a young fullback, of course, if you don't know already. I think he wouldn't be the worst. I think you look at our right back spot and you look at the lack of cover we have for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, especially when we sold Diogo Dalot. So I don't think it's the worst signing in the world. It also fits the kind of young English remit that the young English remit that we seem to be going with under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the transfer window. So my thoughts on Max Aarons, if we can get the deal done for a cheap price, I think it's a no-brainer for me. We need that cover for Wan-Bissaka and give him a challenge as well. Give him that competition at that right-back spot. A few people join. Welcome, Kobe. Welcome, Kevin. Thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate it. Kevin, love the support, my friend. Love it. Thank you very much. If you guys are loving the channel as well, please do feel free to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. But Kevin, always great to see you, as well as Kobe, as well as everyone. Charlie Taylor, how are you doing, my son? I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? How are you doing, mate? Opinions on Werner. But yeah, great to hear from you, mate. Great to hear from you. He's opinions on Werner. He's a dud, mate. He's an absolute dud. I'm sorry. They've absolutely done Chelsea up like a kipper. I mean, I cannot believe his record. He's the missed compilation I've seen on Twitter. You can watch it again and again, and you don't stop laughing. Havertz as well. But for me, what summed it up was when we played Chelsea at Old Trafford. You got Chelsea, Man United 0-0 at Old Trafford. They took off £150 million worth of talent when they needed a goal. They took off Havertz and Werner when they actually needed a goal. That shows you all you need to know about their transfer business. To be fair to Chelsea, though, I would say they're struggling without Ziyech, and Ziyech has done very well for Chelsea this season. So I'll cut Fat Frank a little bit of slack, but ultimately, Havertz and Werner have to be performing better for the combined 150 million, whatever it is, that they're being paid. I'm not sure it's just a system. I'm not sure what it is, but it's pretty poor, mate. Raymond says we need to neutralise Jack Grealish to win this match. I think it's a good take from you, Raymond. I think realistically he's the guy that all their play goes through. You look at how they played against Chelsea, and they did look to Jack Grealish quite a lot in that game. But he's their kind of playmaker, main kind of talisman. But you look at someone like Ollie Watkins as well. He's going to be a threat in the box. He's someone who causes a lot of problems. And obviously he's in very good form. As well as El Ghazi, who's turned into, 08-09 Ronaldo somehow. 5 goals in his last 5 games for El Ghazi. I was doing a preview on another Manchester United channel yesterday. And I was talking to this Aston Villa fan. And they were saying that it was a miracle. I mean, they don't understand how El Ghazi is performing like this. They were saying that most Villa fans were wanting El Ghazi out of the club. So for him to be now playing the way he is ridiculous. And I wouldn't put it past him getting a goal at Old Trafford either. But I think from last season, the difference is that last season it very much was Grielish FC. But now if you look at their attack, they've got Watkins, Traore, Grealish, El Ghazi. They've got a much more balanced attack, so it's not as easy as just shutting down Jack Grealish and you'll be fine, because they've got other attacking players. And then if you look at their midfield option, Douglas Luiz, McGinn's playing well. It's not going to be an easy game, guys. It really isn't. Kobe says the players we need to watch are out for Douglas Luiz, Matty Cash and Martinez. Martinez, obviously the former Arsenal keeper, doing very well at Aston Villa. He's going to be someone who's definitely going to turn up Old Trafford. Keepers do, to be fair. Most keepers turn up Old Trafford. A prime Iker Casillas performance, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to us having 20 and scoring maybe one of them. But yeah, Martin very, very well for them. He did well for Arsenal as well. Pretty well won them the FA Cup, if I'm not mistaken. But Martinez is a decent keeper, and I'm sure he'll continue to be for Aston Villa. And you also mentioned Matty Cash. This was another one of the players that, when I was talking to this Villa fan yesterday, he did mention him. And actually, when I watched the Chelsea game, he was pretty impressive. Considering he came from Nottingham Forest into the Premier League. He stepped up very well. I mean, this isn't foreign to us. We know they've got very good players. They're 5th in the league for a reason. I think they're only like 4 points off us right now. So with a win, they can go 1 point behind, and they've got a game in hand over us as well. So for Aston Villa, in some ways, it's a big game for them. But I've also said at the start that for them to be in this sort of position is ridiculous. So, they're not putting too much pressure on going to Old Trafford and winning. But for us, we're in a little bit of a title race right now. So if we win this game, we can be level on points with the top of the table. And if you told me that after we got slapped 6-1 by Spurs, I would have laughed in your face. I really would have. Kevin, he says he loves United. Who doesn't love United, really? Who doesn't love United? If you don't love United, then you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Adam says, Kieran, what is going on with Caicedo? We should have this deal wrapped up. Also, Fabrizio is confirmed Sancho is leaving for the Premier League in the summer, but who apparently... Chelsea wants him. But who? Apparently Chelsea wants him. Didn't read that right. Sorry, Adam. To be honest with you, I'm not a transfer guru. I'm not too sure what's going on with Caicedo. I only really watched a YouTube compilation of him the other day, so I really don't know what's going on with him. But to be honest with you, I would not be surprised if we do no business in January, even though we're crying out for someone at centre-back and crying out for these sort of players. We're not going to get any of them because... think about what happened last January. We brought in Bruno Fernandes. It changed the game. We could do the same sort of thing this January, but I just don't see the board doing it, especially in these times. They said in the summer the reason why they didn't spend as much money as they would have wanted to was because of the coronavirus squashing their profit margin. And it's not like they've got 500 million in cash reserves, is it? But listen, I can't we can't do anything as fans. We just got to sit back and let the board do what they're going to do, because you can do all the Twitter protests you want. Nothing's going to happen. So realistically, you just got to get on with it. And Sancho ain't coming to United in January. No chance about that. You obviously mentioned he might come to the Premier League in the summer. He doesn't seem to be having a good time at Dortmund. That is true. He's not having a good time at Dortmund right now. So, hey, who knows? But realistically, on the form he's in right now, I'd rather have Marcus Rashford. Obviously, in the long term, you'd rather have Jadon Sancho. I'm kind of, saying that with, I forgot the saying, a bit of tongue-in-cheek. That's it. I'm saying that with a bit of tongue-in-cheek. But at the same time, Sancho has not started his Dortmund season very well this year. I think he's got like one goal in his first kind of 20-odd games. So it's not gone well for him. But I think he's a bit mad at the club, a bit angry at the club for pricing him out of the move. We were never going to pay the 120 million euros that they wanted. We were never going to pay that. Never. But that's for another day. Obviously, we can have another debate about the board, as we usually do on this channel, as it usually turns into. Charlie says Ollie is the worst manager in the Prem. Look at the table. My friend. Look at the table. I'll be worrying more about Arteta, to be honest. I'll be worrying more about Arteta. I think Pep's water carrier is not doing too well right now. We've got a few wins on the bounce, and all of a sudden, he's still the man. Listen, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, second in the league. He's a PE teacher, but he's doing pretty well for a PE teacher. If he's just setting out the cones, then I reckon most managers should be doing that, because whatever he's doing is working wonders right now. We could be joint top. We could be joint top of the league. It's a fact. So listen, I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing about Ollie being the worst manager. You can talk about his tactics. You can talk about whether he smiles too much after we get beaten or we draw. But realistically, we're second in the league. So, you can't complain, really. I don't care if Bruno Fernandes is the main reason we're doing it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the one that brought Bruno Fernandes in. So, you've got to give him credit for that, surely. Kobe says, what do you think of Jules Koundé, pacey centre-back, good in the air, and tackles like Wan-Bissaka? I have to take your word on that one, mate, to be honest. As you can tell, my knowledge of European football is pretty shocking. So I'm not sure who Jules Koundé is. I'm going to have to look him up as well. But listen, I think we need a backup to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and that's when at the start of the stream when I was talking about Max Aarons, that's the sort of player we need to bring in. Someone who, isn't exactly first choice, because Wan-Bissaka is always going to be our first choice, but someone who can come in and can provide that competition and just kind of get Wan-Bissaka off his arse a little bit, because in recent games, he hasn't been the best. So that's something that we need to bring in. I think Max Aarons would be perfect. Maybe Jules Koundé as well. It's obviously a centre-back. He's not a right-back, to be fair, so he wouldn't fit in as Aaron Wan-Bissaka's kind of, replacement or backup. But we also need a centre-back, as you guys know. But for me, I'm all the way Upamecano. I'm on the Upamecano train. I feel like he's the guy. We've played against him, at Old Trafford against Leipzig. We beat them 4-1. But his performance in that game, even though they got beaten 4-1, was fantastic, you've got to say. And for me, he's got to be the guy we go for. He's only going to be, 40-odd million. His release clause is about £40 million. I don't understand why we don't do that deal. It's a no-brainer for me, absolute no-brainer. But our board won't do that sort of deal. We'll probably get Johnny Evans back on loan, something like that. Adam says, we've got Diallo now. Dortmund messed up, in my opinion, by not accepting the money. What do you think? I think Dortmund in some ways didn't mess up, because you've got to think about how important the player is to the club. You know, you look at the value that he'll play to us, but it's a different sort of value when you look at the value he has to Dortmund. For example, Bruno Fernandes' value to us would probably be about £200 million. But if you ask another club what they'd be willing to pay for Bruno Fernandes, it'd be nowhere near 200 million. So there's different values depending on what club you're looking at it, what angle you're looking at it. So I don't think Dortmund were kind of stupid for pricing him out of a move, because Jadon Sancho was regularly scoring 20 goals and assists and getting 20 assists for Dortmund, regularly in the last 3 seasons. So he's obviously a really important player for them. So I wasn't surprised that he got priced out of a move, but at the same time, you've got to look at his age. He's still got loads of potential. So I'm sure Dortmund will still have the last laugh on that one, mate. I'm sure they will. I wouldn't be surprised if his price is actually more come this next summer. Prakash, thanks for joining. He says, Man United Premier League champions. I like your confidence, Prakash. I love your confidence, mate. Thanks for joining as well. Appreciate it. Not yet, but mate, you may as well put the red ribbons on the trophy. Kobe says, well, we played Koundé as well as he plays for Sevilla. You've unlocked a memory for me there, Kobe. I don't want to think about that Sevilla game. I really, really don't want to think about it. But he wasn't bad, actually, in that game, thinking about it. If we played him, he wasn't bad in that game, considering we couldn't score in a month of Sundays. We scored a penalty, I think, in that game. I think we lost 2-1. So we got nowhere near the goal, really, in that one. But to be fair, Sevilla have got a good record, so all good omens, really. But still, I'm not going to say I'm an expert on him or anything like that. Adam says, but his deal expires in 2 years. Yeah, maybe that'll bump up the price as well. Also, I've just seen that Charlie was mouthing off about zero tactics and same as Lampard. Well, that is weird. Because Lampard's obviously down on the table, so it's a difficult one, that one, really. I mean, Ollie's in second, Lampard's not in the top 4. I don't know what to tell you, mate. Kieran says, K-Side says, Kieran, 1pm show. Wow. Yeah, I know. I went a bit early today because I thought I'm not going to be streaming during proper New Year's night. I'm not going to be doing that. That's just wrong. I can't be, doing this sort of stuff, when, the clock's about to strike 12 midnight. I can't be doing that. So I decided to do a little stream like right now, and then we can, have the festivities tonight, and you guys can do it as well, because I don't want any of you guys watching my streams when you should be, partying, or, well, not partying safely in the COVID guidelines, of course. Wink, wink. No, I mean, any other day, do whatever you want to do. I don't really care. But you should be having a bit of fun, having a bit of drink. If you're of age, of course. Don't have drink if you're not of age. Maybe have some Ribena if you're underage. Or maybe your parents will let you. Maybe if you're 16, whatever, your parents might let you have a little bit of Bucks Fizz, something like that. But don't go crazy if you're underage. That's the Red Devil Weekly seal of approval. Disclaimer: don't be having too much drink if you're underage. So yeah, I don't know why we went on that tangent, but anyway, good to get that public service announcement out there. But yeah, I just decided to do the stream now because obviously it is New Year's Eve. Some people are already welcoming in 2021. I think New Zealand and what's the other country? Fiji or something? That's close to New Zealand, already in 2021. So, they've time travelled. They're already ahead of us, of course. But it'll be 12 midnight in the UK time when that happens. And obviously, I don't want you watching this stream. I don't want you watching this stream at that point. You should be, celebrating, whether you're with your family, with your friends, whatever you're doing. Yeah, get on the Ribena, mate. It's great for your skin. Kobe says, but I'll take Koundé or Upamecano, but Sevilla won't want 60 to 80 million for him. Yeah, again, the price is going to be overinflated, especially, for Man United. I mean, it always is. I mean, we shouldn't be, shocked by this. We shouldn't be we shouldn't be shocked by this, realistically. The price is always going to be overinflated for Manchester United, just how it is. That's all I can really tell you. But they're both decent players, as you said, Kobe. They're both decent players that I would be very happy if they joined Manchester United. Because look at our defence not last night, against Wolves. We were solid in defence against Wolves. We had Eric Bailly and Harry Maguire as a partnership. To me, what that suggests is that we're not actually that far off a solid centre-back partnership. And also, Harry Maguire isn't as bad as people say he is. And I know that might be a bit of an unpopular opinion amongst United fans, but I actually don't think Harry Maguire is as bad as a lot of United fans say he is, because realistically, when you have a good partner next to him, he seems to perform well. Him and Eric Bailly, 8 clean sheets out of their last 11 Premier League games. I mean, is that a coincidence? Is it not? I don't know. But 8 clean sheets out of their last 11. Harry Maguire is no clown, for me, in my opinion. He's a decent defender if you get the right centre-back next to him. Adam says, are you going into Tier 4? Yeah, we're already in Tier 4, mate. That happened ages ago. We're already in Tier 4, unfortunately. So I'm sure most of the country's in Tier 4 now. I think the only one is Yorkshire. Yorkshire's not in Tier 4 right now. But yeah, this is not a political thing. This is not a kind of, I don't know anything about, COVID, all that. I can't, tell you what's going to happen in the next week or so, next month or so. All I can say is just try and enjoy yourself, stay safe, all that good stuff. But I'll get into my prediction now, because as I said, it's not going to be the long stream as it usually is on Red Devil Weekly. If you're still watching, let me know your thoughts and predictions in the live chat, as well as the comment section down below if you're watching as a video. So, in fact, we'll go through a little bit of a team. I think David Hare will start on goal. I don't think there'll be too many changes from the team that started against Wolves, really. We just about got over the line in that game, but that was because Wolves played a certain brand of football. We found it very difficult to break them down, but I think Aston Villa will leave a lot more space in behind. So I'm looking forward to the game. I think it's going to be a very good game. I think both teams are going to go toe-to-toe with each other, and it'll be a good game for the neutral. I really do think that. So I'm going to go with a prediction. I'll go with a 2-1 win, as I said on Rich's channel. Make sure to check out Rich Sports as well if you haven't already. Great stuff over there. But I'm going to go with a 2-1 win, and I think the team is going to be De Gea in goal. I think we're going to see a back four of Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Eric Bailly, and we're going to see I think we're going to see Luke Shaw at left back. We're going to see Luke Shaw at left back. I think we're going to see McFred in the midfield, so Scott McTominay and Fred as the kind of double pivot, and then we're going to see Bruno Fernandes, Rashford and Greenwood, and then we're going to see Anthony Martial up front. I think he will rest Cavani, even though I'd love to see Edison Cavani play in this game. He's someone who creates a lot of space for the other forward players, but also can get on the end of a ball. When we saw against Everton in the Carabao Cup, he's got one hell of a finish on him. So, Cavani coming off the bench is never a bad thing. So that's my team lineup, and my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win to Manchester United, just about getting over the line, because I'm not wholly confident. I'm not saying that we're gonna absolutely dominate Aston Villa. They're a decent team. You got to say, they're 5th in the league. They're doing very well. They've got Grealish. They've got a more balanced attack as well with Watkins. El Ghazi's in good form. Defensively, they look pretty solid. And in midfield, the likes of McGinn and the likes of Douglas Luiz are going to really prove a tough test for our midfield. And that's why I think Solskjaer is going to pack the midfield, because that midfield battle is going to be very interesting indeed. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. I think we'll just have enough quality to get over the line. I think our attack has been very potent in recent games. We haven't been as clinical as we'd like to be, but our attack has shown this season that we are capable of scoring 5-6 goals in a game. So I feel like we can do that against Aston Villa if they do, kind of come out and don't park the bus. But I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to United. Kobe goes with a 2-1 win with Bruno, Rashford and Grealish getting on the score sheet. That would be, not Grealish scoring, but the other two would be great. Charlie goes with a 2-2 draw. I tell you what, I don't think that's far away. I think, both teams, I think if you look at the way Villa play, it's going to be very difficult to to see them not scoring. I think with our defensive record, it'd be very difficult to see us not conceding. So that's why I always give the opposition now a goal, because our defensive record is so poor that I just feel like the opposition are always going to score. So I feel like a 2-1 win for me, but I think 2-2 draw, again, is not far away. But a draw in this game for us would be a disappointment. It's hard to say that you take a point at this point. I said point twice there. It's hard to say you take a point against a team like Aston Villa at home. But at the same time, you look at where we are in the league right now, and realistically, at the start of the season, no one thought we were going to be in a title race. No one thought we'd be chasing Liverpool at the top of the table. So a point, obviously, in terms of our overall season ambition, wouldn't be the worst result, but it would be a bit of a deflating result in terms of the form we've been in as of late. Adam wants me to read his comment. Adam says, we're going into the next week, so I'm going barbers before it's too late. Well, make sure you get a fresh trim, mate. Make sure you get a good cut. and also make sure you get it on the cheap like I did. I don't know where you live. I got it for about 10 quid. As you can tell, I mean, this is not fresh, by the way. This is like, 6 or 7 weeks down the line. It was actually a proper skin fade I had. If you want to go check it back out in the videos, I think the first time I got it was the West Ham preview. If you want to check out what the haircut looked like back then you can check it out. But yeah, mate, it's probably a good idea. I mean, we don't have... all of our hairdressers and barbers and stuff are closed down, so we don't have the luxury of doing that. So yeah, I'd hurry up if I were you on that front. Charlie says you'll get a man sent off at 2-1. Well, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if that's not going to happen. I can't really tell you. Who out of interest do you reckon is going to get sent off? The only person I can think of is someone... I mean, Bruno Fernandes gets sent off. It's done. We may as well just turn off the title race now. But I mean, that is a bold prediction. If that happens, then I will send a £5 note, a crisp £5 note through your letterbox if that happens. Huddersfield, unfortunate. No, I'm joking, Adam, I'm joking. Huddersfield is probably a very nice place. I've never been. Maybe reasons I've never been. But I've never been to Huddersfield. But yeah, fair play to them. They're still hanging on there in Tier 3 or Tier 2. I'm not sure where they are. But yeah, I'll get your haircut, mate. In fact, stop watching the stream. Get to a barber quickly before they all shut. But anyway, I'm probably going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Please do hit that like button if you aren't already. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new around here. Make sure as well to leave your thoughts in the comment section below if you're watching as a video. Always appreciate it. Always read all of your comments. So make sure you do that. But all that's left to say is hopefully you have a great New Year's wherever you are, however you're celebrating it. And I'll see you in 2021 after the Aston Villa game. Hopefully talking about a good performance. But until then, thank you very much for watching all the videos in 2020. Really do appreciate it. And let's get it for 2021. Let's do it. And thanks for support. And hopefully that support continues over to the new year. And hopefully you have a much better 2021 than we did this year. But anyway, I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.